Hey YouTube, Doug Wallman. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a book. Whoa! Mary Oliver. All day up and down the shore, the fine points of the waves keep on tapping whatever is there. Let us change the scene to outdoors. All right, I'm out here near Canastota, South Dakota. And we do have the northern lights, or the Aurora Borealis out here. Try to step in the frame about where I need to be. So I'm reading from page 179 from Mary Oliver, Devotions. Logos. Why wonder about the loaves and the fishes? If you say the right words, the wine expands. If you say them with love and the felt ferocity of that love and the felt necessity of that love, let's just start over. So we have the beautiful Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. That's part of my background here. I didn't know if it would work or if they would re-emerge as bright as they were, but it looks like they're coming back. Although they're not against the backdrop of the water over there in that direction, but in a slightly less scenic area. Yeah, they're getting kind of bright, but I think they will kind of rotate to where I want them to be. But I'm just going to go ahead and read from this book, Mary Oliver, you know. Devotions, page 179. Logos. Why wonder about the loaves and the fishes? If you say the right words, the wine expands. If you say them with love and the felt ferocity of that love and the felt necessity of that love, the fish explode into many. Imagine him speaking and don't worry about what is reality or what is plain or what is mysterious. If you were there, it was all those things. If you can imagine it, it is all those things. Eat, drink, be happy, accept the miracle, accept too each spoken word, spoken with love. I'll step a little more out of frame there, maybe all the way out. I didn't know if we could capture this on video, but we did, so that's kind of cool. I thought maybe we could, but I also thought maybe I knew better. What else can we read? I don't know. Does anything here fit? North Country. North Country, page 157. North Country. In the North Country now it is spring, and there is a certain celebration. The thrush has come home. He is shy and likes the evening best, also the hour just before morning. In that blue and gritty light he climbs to his branch or smoothly sails there. It is okay to know only one song if it is this one. Hear it rise and fall. The very elements of your soul shiver nicely. What would spring be without it? Mostly frogs. But don't worry. He arrives year after year, humble and obedient and gorgeous. You listen and you know you could live a better life than you do. Be softer, be kinder. And maybe this year you will be able to do it. Hear how his voice rises and falls. There is no way to be sufficiently grateful for the gifts we are given, no way to speak the Lord's name often enough, though we do try. And equally now, as that dappled breast breathes in the pines and the heavens windows in the North Country, now the spring has come, are opened wide. And I'll turn the page and see if this lovely poem keeps going. And it does not. That was the end of that one. Well, there's one here called Fireflies. I don't know if I chose a very fitting one, but Fireflies. We have a car coming, but that's okay. We'll let it pass. Fireflies. At Blackwater, fireflies are not even a dime a dozen. They are free, and each floats and turns among the branches of the oaks and the swamp azaleas, looking for another. As who doesn't? Oh, blessings on the intimacy inside fruition, be it foxes or the fireflies or the dampness inside the petals of 1,000 flowers. Though Eden is lost in loveliness, remains in the heart and the imagination, he would take her in a beat over the dark water. She would take him. To an island she knows, where the blue frag glows wild, and the grass is deep, where the birds perch together, feather to feather, on the bough, and the fireflies, blinking their little lights, hurry toward one another, and the world continues, God willing. Hi. It's a little tricky trying to get the northern lights and read poetry in the dark and not have my face totally lit up by this flashlight. We're gonna do it. Mary Oliver, as you know, that's been the theme of this video. White Flowers, page, if I can see the page number, page 295. White Flowers. Making sure I'm a little better in the frame, but I don't want to be too much in the frame because we got some beautiful display here. Can you see me? White Flowers. Last night in the fields, I lay down in the darkness to think about death. But instead, I fell asleep, as if in a vast and sloping room filled with those white flowers that open all summer, sticky and untidy in the warm fields. When I woke, the morning light was just slipping in front of the stars, and I was covered with blossoms. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if my body went diving down under the sugary vines in some sleep-sharpened affinity. So we're going to read from page 115. It's been kind of hard for me to turn the pages in time, but we are reading Night and the River. Still have a little bit of the northern lights behind me, but it's kind of fading. I have seen the great feet leaping into the river, and I have seen moonlight milky along the long muzzle, and I have seen the body of something scaled and wonderful, slumped in the sudden fire of its mouth, and I could not tell which fit me more comfortably, the power or the powerlessness. Neither would have me entirely. I was divided, consumed by sympathy, pity, admiration. After a while, it was done. The fish had vanished. The bear lumped away to the green shore. And into the trees. And then there was only this story. It followed me home and entered my house, a difficult guest, with a single tune which it hums all day long and through the night. Slowly or briskly, it doesn't matter. It sounds like a river leaping and falling. It sounds like a body falling apart. I certainly hope you are enjoying views. It's a little difficult getting the Northern Lights on video, but I thought I'd give it a shot. See what we come up with. So I'm reading Night Flight, and I put the camera back on automatic focus for my face, but we do have the Northern Lights behind us, and you can probably still see it. We'll try some different methods. Night Flight. Traveling at 30,000 feet, we see how much of Earth still lies in the wilderness, till terminals occur like miracles to civilize the paralyzing dark. Buckled for landing to a tilting chair, I think if miracle or accident should send us on across the upper air, how many miles or nights or years to go before the mind with its huge ego paling, before the heart all expectations spent, should read the meaning of the scene below. But now already the loved ones gather under the dome of welcome as we glide over the final jutting mountainside, across the suburbs tangled in their lights, and settled softly on the earth once more, rise in the fierce assumption of our lives, discarding smoothly as we disembark all thoughts that held us wiser for a moment, up there alone in the impartial dark. That was the end of that poem. But what would happen if we put it back in manual focus and infinity? It's hard to do this in the dark. Keep my book page. Is it on infinity still? Very difficult to do. I think that's roughly infinity right there. And Northern Lights, I still see them. They're beautiful, aren't they? I could go over here. No, you're not going to see me as much in focus, but you'll see that. And I don't want the flashlight to do what it just did. So I'm trying to use my sleeve to cover. I don't know what to read. I've just been randomly reading. And you do have the display behind me, so that's cool. I think the infinity focus is a pretty good deal. I thought maybe everything would be in focus, but I'm not. Well, Pink Moon, the pond. You think it will never happen again. Then one night in April, the tribes wake trilling. You walk down to the shore. Your coming stills them, but little by little the silence lifts until song is everywhere, and your soul rises from your bones and strides out over the water. It is a crazy thing to do, for no one can live like that, floating around in the darkness over the gauzy water. Left on the shore, your bones keep shouting, "Come back!" but your soul won't listen. In the distance, it is unfolding like a pair of wings. It is sparking like hot wires. So, like a good friend, you decide to follow. You step off the shore and plummet to your knees. You slog going forward to your thighs and sink to your cheekbones. And now you are caught by the cold chains of the water. You are vanishing while around you the frogs continue to sing. Got to turn the page and hold the flashlight and cover the flashlight. The frogs continue to sing, driving their music upward through your own throat, not even noticing you are something else. And that's when it happens. You see everything through their eyes, their joy, their necessity. You wear their webbed fingers. Your throat swells. And that's when you know you will live whether you will or not, one way or another. Because everything is everything else. One long muscle. It's no more mysterious than that. So you relax. You don't fight it anymore. The darkness coming down, called water, called spring, called the green leaf, called a woman's body, as it turns into mud and leaves, as it beats in its cage of water, as it turns like a lonely spindle in the moonlight, as it says, yes. So now, I'm reading from page, I can't barely read because it's so dark, page 131. It's called Praying. It doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot, or a few small stones. Just pay attention, then patch a few words together, and don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but the doorway into thanks, and a silence in which another voice may speak. So true. Thank you, Lord, for this view, and I'm able to read some poetry. It's kind of nice. What are your thoughts on Mary Oliver? Beautiful poetry for sure. Beautiful night. It's not as intense as I was once seen it, but also my eyes may have adjusted. Partly true. I know it was more intense because I could see straight up into the sky, where it kind of had that look of an eye coming down, where everything was kind of centered in one spot. But now I only see it like kind of towards the horizon. But I kind of like to see the northern lights with some trees or a river or a pond or something. So there's some context, some surrounding context to it. So that's kind of sweet. Well, thanks for watching. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the view. I know it's probably grainy because it's hard to get good footage of this in video. It's a lot easier with just a still frame or a still picture. But we got what we got, and I thought it's pretty awesome we got anything at all. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video. So I'm reading from The Night Traveler, page 407. The Night Traveler. Passing by, he could be anybody. A thief, a tradesman, a doctor, on his way to a worried house. But when he stops at your gate, under the room where you lie half asleep, you know it is not just anyone. It is the night traveler. You lean your arms on the sill and stare down, but all you can see are bits of wilderness attached to him. Twigs, loam and leaves, vines and blossoms. Among these, you feel his eyes and his hands lifting something in the air. He has a gift for you, but it has no name. It is windy and woolly. He holds it in the moonlight, and it sings like a newborn beast, like a child at Christmas, like your own heart as it tumbles in love's green bed. You make You take it, and he is gone. All night and all your life, if you are willing, it will nuzzle your face, cold-nosed, like a small white wolf. It will curl in your palm. It will curl in your palm, like a hard blue stone. It will liquefy into a cold pool, which, when you dive into it, will hold you like a mossy jaw, a bath of light, in answer. The Night Traveler, page 407. Passing by, he could be anybody, a thief, a tradesman, a doctor, on his way to a worried house. But when he stops at your gate, under the room where you lie half asleep, you know it is not just anyone. It is the night traveler. You lean your arms on the sill and stare down, but all you can see are bits of wilderness attached to him. Twigs, loam, and leaves, vines and blossoms. Among these you feel his eyes and his hands lifting something in the air. He has a gift for you, but it has no name. It is windy and woolly. He holds in the moonlight. He holds it in the moonlight, and it sings like a newborn beast, like a child at Christmas, like your own heart as it tumbles in love's green bed. You take it, and he is gone. All night and all your life, if you are willing, it will nuzzle your face, cold-nosed like a small white wolf. It will curl in your palm. It will curl in your palm like a hard blue stone. It will liquefy into a cold pool, which, when you dive into it, will hold you like a mossy jaw, a bath of light, in answer. I thought I'd do some reading in the dark out in a local park. I was actually trying to get the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights, and it was stronger than I've ever seen it, but just as quickly it disappeared, faded. But I do have kind of a fainter image, and I can show you that. And if it gets better, I'll take more pictures. But right now I'm reading The Night Traveler, page 407. Passing by, he could be anybody, a thief, a tradesman, a doctor, on his way to a worried house. But when he stops at your gate, under the room where you lie half asleep, you know it is not just anyone. It is the night traveler. You lean your arms on the sill and stare down. But all you can see are bits of wilderness attached to him, twigs, loam, and leaves, vines and blossoms. Among these you feel his eyes and his hands lifting something in the air. He has a gift for you, but it has no name. It is windy and woolly. He holds it in the moonlight, and it sings like a newborn beast, like a child at Christmas, like your own heart as it tumbles in love's green bed. You take it, and he is gone. All night and all your life, if you are willing, it will nuzzle your face, cold-nosed like a small white wolf. It will curl in your palm like a hard blue stone. It will liquefy into a cold pool, which, when you dive into it, will hold you like a mossy jaw. A bath of light, in answer. So now I'm reading from page 96, Coyote in the Dark. Coyotes remembered. The darkest thing met me in the dark. It was only a face and a brace of teeth that held no words, though I felt a salty breath sighing in my direction. Once, in an autumn that is long gone, I was down on my knees in the cranberry bog and heard in that lonely place 2 voices coming down the hill, and I was thrilled to be granted this secret, that the coyotes walking together can walk together, for I thought, what else could it be? And even though what emerged were 2 young women, 2-legged for sure, and not at all aware of me, their nimble young women tongues telling and answering, and though I knew I had believed something probably not true, yet it was wonderful to have believed it, and it has stayed with me as a present. Once given is forever given. Easy and happy they sounded, those 2 maidens of the wilderness, from which we have, who knows to what furious, pitiful extent, banished ourselves. So note, we do have the northern lights, although it's not as powerful as I'd like. It's nonetheless quite evident. It's getting there. So we're reading Logos from page 179 of Mary Oliver Devotions. Logos. Why wonder about the loaves and the fishes? If you say the right words, the wine expands. If you say them with love, and the felt ferocity of that love, and the felt necessity of that love, the fish explode into many. Imagine him speaking. And don't worry about what is reality, or what is plain, or what is mysterious. If you were there, it was all of those things. If you can imagine it, it is all those things. Eat, drink, be happy. Accept the miracle. Accept, too, each spoken word, spoken with love. So now we're reading from page 295. That's not a good place to step. Let's turn over here, because I don't want to stand in the way of what I see over there. Okay, let's try that again. So we're reading from page 295. But it's hard to see the numbers or the words because I'm in the dark, and I got this little flashlight, and I'm trying to not shine it too much. So I'm dispersing the light with my sleeve. It's also a little tricky. White flowers. Last night in the fields I lay down in the darkness. Let's not do that. No. Yeah. So, we're reading from page 295, and the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, are getting a little more intense, I think, at least to the camera, and in that direction. I would like it if they were above the waters, and they might be, but I can't see it so much with my naked eye, but I can definitely see that with my naked eye over there. So I guess I pointed the camera in that direction, and I'm going to read some more poetry in the dark, or some poetry. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video, so, but in case, no. Would you take a look at the beautiful scenery behind me, the Aurora Borealis. This is what I hope to do tonight. It's pretty close. I kind of wish there was water in that direction, but I don't want to be ungrateful for what I got. The water is actually in a different direction, but there doesn't seem to be much going on in that direction. So we'll just point the camera in the direction that the beauty is in. It's directing my gaze over there, so we'll read some poetry. White Flowers, page 295 from this book, Devotions, Mary Oliver. I think it's the theme of my video, so I probably don't have to point that out. But I don't know where else this may end up going, how else I may edit the video. So, White Flowers. Last night in the fields, I lay down in the darkness to think about death, but instead I fell asleep, as if in a vast and sloping room filled with these white flowers that open all summer, sticky and untidy, in the warm fields. When I woke, the morning light was just slipping in front of the stars, and I was covered with blossoms. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if my body went diving down under the sugary vines in some sleep-sharpened affinity with the depths, or whether that green energy rose like a wave and curled over me, claiming me in its husky arms. I pushed them away, but I didn't rise. Never in my life had I felt so plush or so slippery. Or so resplendently empty. Never in my life had I felt myself so near that porous line where my own body was done with, and the roots and the stems and the flowers began. It's quite beautiful behind me, isn't it? Wow. Quite beautiful. What else can I read from this? So it's from page 227, if I can read that number on the page. Hopefully I can read these words. I do have a little flashlight, and I'm trying not to shine it too much. I have my flannel sleeve kind of covering it so it disperses the light. Flare. Welcome to the silly, comforting poem. It is not the sunrise, which is a red rinse, which is flaring all over the eastern sky. It is not the rain falling out of the purse of God. It is not the blue helmet of the sky afterward, or the trees, or the beetle burrowing into the earth. It is not the mockingbird who, in his own cadence, will go on sizzling and clapping from the branches of the catalpa, that are thick with blossoms, that are billowing and shining, that are shaking in the wind. Then it has like a number 2. That was number 1. Following is number 2 of the same section or same poem. Number 2, you will recall sometimes the old barn on your great-grandfather's farm, a place you visited once and went into, all alone, while the grown-ups sat and talked in the house. It was empty, or almost. Whiffs of hay covered the floor, and some wasps sang at the windows, and maybe there was a strange fluttering bird high above, disturbed, hooing a little and staring down from a messy ledge with wild, binocular eyes. And now I've got to turn the page. And the page is fighting me. The page is fighting me, okay. And is my face all washed out? Shouldn't be. Mostly, though, it smelled of milk and the patience of animals. The give-offs of the body were still in the air, a vague ammonia, not unpleasant. Mostly, though, it was restful and secret. The roof's high up and arched, the boards unpainted and plain. I can only read like a little section at a time because this light, I purposely have it sort of as dim as I can make it so it doesn't make my face overexposed. You could never, you could, sorry, you could have strayed there forever. Sorry, can't read very well in the dark. You could have stayed there forever, a small child in a corner on the last raft of hay, dazzled by so much space that seemed empty, but wasn't. Then, you still remember, you felt the wrap of hunger. It was noon, and you turned from that twilight stream and hurried back to the house, where the table was set, where an uncle patted you on the shoulder for welcome, and there was your place at the table. Number 3. Nothing lasts. There is a graveyard where everything I am talking about is now. I stood there once on the green grass, scattered of flowers. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, there's continuing numbers that go on and on. I don't know if that's what I want to read here tonight. It'd be cool if there was one about the dark sky. There is some about the night. I guess I'll try to focus on my face, although we do have something much more beautiful behind us. See what that does with automatic focus. Probably be struggling to focus on me, I don't know. But so this is from page 431 and it's called Night Flight. Traveling at 30,000 feet, we see how much of Earth still lies in wilderness, till terminals occur like miracles. I'm not sure what that's trying to say.